From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spar on the radio.
Hello to Subtlety. How are you today?
Good, thank you, Ruben. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for letting me chat to you today. So, can you tell me how long have you been a singer-songwriter for?
Wow, I've been a singer ever since I can remember. My sister and I used to record ourselves when we were about 8 years old, singing into tape recorders, because that's what you did in those days. And we used to make up songs. And, you know, that sort of went by the wayside. I still loved to sing. And when I was 18, my friend encouraged me to answer an ad for a backup singer for a local band in Adelaide. And I said, no. I was, not very sure. And so I did it and I got the job, and I have been singing in Adelaide in bands on stage since I was 18 up until about 3 years ago. So a lot of years singing live in bands or cover music. I only started really writing my own music and songs 3 years ago when I started learning the piano.
So, was it like learning the piano?
It was really, really hard at the start. I sort of nearly gave up a couple of times because I just didn't think I was going to be able to do it, and it's just quite tedious when you're trying to get your fingers to work properly, and when you're trying to coordinate the left hand and the right hand. It was very time consuming, and you have to practice every day. And for what seemed like each piano lesson I went to, I didn't really seem like I was getting very far. But luckily, I'm at a time in my life where I've got the time to put in the work practice-wise. And I just stuck with it. And my piano teacher said, you will probably start writing your own music soon. Might not come right away, but because he was encouraging the whole time and gave me a sort of a goal that I could work towards, and he had faith in the process, I listened to him and I had faith in the process, and I just kept practicing. And then lo and behold, probably about 8 months into learning the piano, he said, you'll probably just start fiddling around with different chords on the piano and you'll end up writing a song just from what sounds good to you. And then it did happen. I just started, once I got a bit of technique physically with my fingers, I got more confidence in playing the chords, and then I just started messing around, and then it was really funny. Something clicked in my ear, and I started hearing chords, and I started putting chords together, and then before I knew it, I had a song. And then other times I would actually get lyrics. Then it sort of just opened up something in my brain. I started to just write whole songs in my head, like when I was walking the dog. All these thoughts would come through. So I suppose my life leading up until now has really been the material I needed to write my own music. It was all the material was just there. I really had to just put it into lyrics and music, and learning the music brought out certain feelings, and so that led me to write a lyric about that feeling. And I just naturally found myself writing about my life up until now, which led me to being able to do an album. So it's been a journey, and it's been a process of getting there. I was offered to learn the piano when I was younger and in high school, and I just did not like it at all. And I just thought, well, I mustn't be ready for it. But it's funny how in life things seem to happen because they're meant to happen. Maybe I couldn't have written these songs that I write now until, the time was right. So it's all I definitely think this is what I should be doing right now. It's working well for me. It's given me a new lease in life on what music can be for me, because I've always loved singing, mostly just loved singing, and to have the opportunity to, write my own songs has just been really, really gratifying to me. You get a lot back from writing music and sharing it with people, for sure.
Now, your debut single, did you record that in a recording studio?
No, I do all my own recording and all my own composing and production. So that was another thing I had to learn as well. I had to learn how to record and produce, and that was a process in itself as well. I had help from my piano teacher, he's a producer, so I got a lot of tips from him, but a lot of it was just stumbling and finding things out for yourself and just getting as much information as you can. And fortunately for indie artists, it's a lot cost effective these days with technology. You can record your own music with interfaces and things like that now yourself, and apps. There's lots of great apps you can use to record your music. So I suppose what it has done is it's flooded the market with indie artists, because everyone can record from their own home. They don't necessarily have to go to a studio. I do think it's important, though, when you do go to the next level, that to get the best quality sound that you can, it's probably a good idea to go to a professional producer and mixer. But for where I am at the moment, I've had really good feedback from fellow indie artists that have said the production side of my songs have improved a lot since I started. So I'm enjoying doing that as well, improving in all areas.
That's good.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, where can my listeners find you on social media?
Sorry, Ruben, can you repeat that, please?
Where my listeners can find you on social media?
Oh, where can you find me?
Yeah.
Yes, that's another thing, Ruben, too, for an indie artist. So time consuming. But I realised quite early on that if you had any chance of getting yourself heard, you need to connect with Facebook groups, and you have to be on Instagram. I'm on Bandcamp to sell my music, and I'm on streaming services as well. So you sort of have to have a lot of you have to tick a lot of boxes in the social media. I stayed away from TikTok. That was a bit too much for me. And I suppose everything has to be a balance too. The social media side of things can get a bit overwhelming, and I know it's a part of the business, but you definitely have to work out what you're going to spend your time on, because you can get so caught up in the social media thing, which is a necessity for an indie artist, but you find that you don't have much time to actually do your own music, which is the whole reason why you're doing this. So you do have to, there are a few indie artists that have had to take a step back because it was just really overtaking everything they did. And we are doing this for music. Yeah, so I'm not the only one. I'm sure everyone else feels the same about social media. It is a necessity. And it's also very rewarding too, because you can get instant feedback for any new releases. And that's how we connect with people like you. You need YouTube, and you need the community and the internet radio stations to hear about you, to get your music heard. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to share my music in the hope that the lyrics might help someone else if they need it. I think a lot of indie artists write music to sort of sort out their own feelings, but ultimately help other people if they can as well. That's the sort of feeling I've sort of got off the indie music community, that's for sure. One group that was really good to join when I started was Vox and Sticks Band Together, they're called, and they now have, I think it's 9,000 followers, and I would say most of them are indie artists, musicians, or people that love independent music. And all the radio stations are on there as well, and I think that's where they get a lot of, they connect with a lot of artists to put on their stations as well. But that's a really massive support for indie artists, that Facebook group is. And there are a few others too. There's a lot of Facebook groups for independent musicians, but you do have to have a good administrator that protects the indie musicians as well. So it's all about support and positivity. Yeah. So that was one of the ones that I thought they do run their site really well. And they're all for the indie artists. They have podcasts, and yeah, we can't really do it without these people that,
No, that's true. Now, thank you.
The artists.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me chat to you today.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Ruben. Thank you for supporting all the indie artists out there too. Really appreciate it.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. Bye.